Hello, it's Monday and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. It is the end of June. Literally, there is today and tomorrow left of June. And I have been reading so much and I'm still so motivated to read. I have actually already finished Untamed Heart today. This is so good. Like, last week I read People Watching and that was a 300 plus page book that I was so disappointed in because I just could not find a connection to the characters at all. And yet this 220 something page book, 260, sorry, I don't know why I keep thinking it's 220, 262 page, 264 page book, I'll get there eventually. I was completely in it and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I do wish it was slightly longer. There are things that I would have like expanded on, or like there's certain bits where it didn't flow quite right in a way. Like there's a point where she goes to these like thermal pools and she's like walking there and he says, "Is this your way of apologising?" And it just didn't seem like the right, like she was just walking to it would have been funny. I think that scene would have been funnier if she had started, like, she hadn't seen him there because it was two pools. If she maybe hadn't seen him, started stripping off to get into the pool, and then he said it, and she was like, "Oh," because like he obviously realised, because like in my head, this is how the scene would play out. She's walking towards it. He sees her coming. They've been aggravating each other all day, and he's like, "Oh, here we go." She doesn't notice he's there. Starts like unbuttoning her shirt or something. He realises then that she doesn't know he's here. So to alert her to the fact that he is here, and also because he's a smart ass, he then says, "Oh, is this your way of apologising or something?" And she's like, "Oh, holy crap," like covering herself back up and be like, "I didn't see." And he's like, "Clearly." Like, I think that would have been funnier, and it only adds like maybe a couple of lines. It just seemed to stutter slightly, jump too quickly on certain bits, and that was my only criticism of this. This managed to handle a number of issues in a fantastic way. Like, I really, really enjoyed this. And so I will be picking up Reckless Vow, which is book 2, which follows Jessie, who's one of the works at the ranch, and Hestia, who is her best friend. And I'm so, so excited because I really like the two characters. Like, even that, like, you get to know so many characters, and I liked all of the characters. I'm just stunned at how well that was written. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. This, I've not even started it yet. That's literally chapter 1. But I'm very, very excited to read this. And between today and tomorrow, I should be able to do it. And that'll be 29 books, I think. No, that's not right. 20-something books. I have read a lot this month. And I don't know what has gone on, because I've just been on a roll. Like, I've been back to back reading, and I don't know where it's come from. Obviously, a lot of the pages have come from Heartstopper and Murderbot. Or like the numbers, I know what I mean. She's decided to join me. It is the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. I did plan to vlog earlier, but I was just feeling a bit off earlier. I was really edgy, and like, I don't know, like I was ready to get into a fight with somebody. I don't know why, but I just had this overwhelming urge to like have an argument, and I just really don't know why. Nobody had done anything. I couldn't pinpoint anything that like did it, but for some reason I just had this sudden like urge to like be annoyed, which is really weird. So yeah, I've just been watching YouTube videos all day and doing bits and bobs. Just completed. I did also edit and post 2 videos, or I posted one, scheduled the other, but same difference. And I only have 2 more to edit, and I'll be up to date. So that's good. That's amazing. And yeah, this week's interesting. So today's Monday, and then on Wednesday we have Kay's dad's birthday. I went right past my calendar. Thursday. On Thursday we have Kay's dad's birthday. Friday I've got the nurse. Friday, Gala's got the vet. Saturday's our wedding anniversary. So that's 6 years. I can't believe we've been married for 6 years. That's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental that we've been married for 6 years. I do have plans for what I'm going to get Kay. So we like to go with the traditional, or not even necessarily traditional, we like to go with like the wedding year anniversary gifts. That's why I said traditional. So this month is it sugar? I think it's sugar and something. I think it was like sugar and iron or something like that. So I'm gonna make Kay like a little gift basket of her favourite treats, which I really want to bake as well, to make her brownies, but I'm not sure how that'll go because she's going to be in the house. Like, I can't exactly covertly bake, you know? So I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out, but I will figure it out. Hamish is scratching. He is still so edgy. Like, it's actually driving me nuts. It's healing. It's just slowly healing. He's like edgy bits, but he keeps like catching himself with it because he's scratching. He keeps catching himself with his nails, and then like obviously scabbing over and it gets itchy, and we keep trying to stop him from scratching, but it's just he won't listen. So it's just still a nightmare. And now he's digging. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go. This is far too long for an intro to a vlog. Hello, good morning, good people of the internet. I have a couple of packages to open, which, by the way, is rude because I had my TBR number set to 20 because I actually finished both of these books yesterday, and yet two more arrived, so my TBR went back up to 20. Will be going back up to 22. So yeah, I just wanted to open these for you. I did finish Recklessville yesterday. I love this, and to be fair, I would have had like I really love this because I really saw myself in Hestia, but at the same time, she has so much more personal growth in me because there's a bit in here where there's a couple of bits in here where I would have chosen violence, and she chose to be the bigger person. So, but we're proud of her. We're proud of her for choosing to be the bigger person there, because I would not have chosen to be the bigger person. No, it would have been, I thought I saw a spider, sorry. It would have been on. It would have been, there would have been, yeah, I would have chosen violence. I'm so excited to read the third book in this, which I assume there's going to be a third book because I feel like this is setting up for the third book, and I think I know, well, because I think it's setting up, I know who. Or I think I know who, but there doesn't seem to be anything on the horizon. Hopefully, we do get that. I'm so enjoying this. Like, this is just proof that if you do it well, you don't need to like draw it out. Like, fantastic, very exciting. To have a new series that I really enjoy, and it's just so much fun. Honestly, I love these so much. They're so short and yet they're so good. I do think that's me finished reading for the month though, because I've got, what was it, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 28 books. I've read 28 books now. In the month of June. I think I'm done. I think I'm done for the month. I don't think there's anything else I can read this month that I can finish today. And I'm not pushing myself to try and like speed read something. I might start like the Magnus Bane Chronicles or something, like a short story collection. Well, it would be the Bane Chronicles because that's the only short story collection. It's not the only short story collection I have. I also have Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, but I feel like I need, like, the order in my head is Bane Chronicles then Shadowhunter Academy. So if anything, I might, if I really feel like reading, I might start Bane Chronicles, but I'm not trying to like pound something out really quickly. So yeah, anyway, on to these. I know I had one book coming. I didn't realise I had two, so this could be interesting. See, if I've ordered the same book twice, I'm going to be so annoyed at myself. I think one of these is my non-fiction, but I've also got the audiobook pre-ordered because I like to listen to my non-fictions via audio. what are we? This, I think, is the non-fiction. Yeah. So this is An Expert Witness by Dame Professor Sue Black? Dame Professor Sue Black. And I love getting all of Sue Black's, what's it called? Books. I had lectures from her during uni, where I studied forensic science. If you haven't been here when I've mentioned that, I almost dropped the book. And yeah, I loved Professor Lady Sue Black, sorry. I thought it was Dame. It says here Professor Lady Sue Black. Maybe she was appointed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, yeah. And the Lady of the most ancient and most noble Order of the Thistle. So she's Professor Lady Dame Sue Black, yeah. She deserves these accolades, by the way. This woman is, like, not even who I want to be when I grow up, because there's no way I could be Sue Black. So this is, I think, her talking about her time as an expert witness. So Sue Black is a forensic anthropologist, hence the skull on the cover, although bones is like the bare minimum of what they do. They actually, she said herself that like the bones are the stuff you give to the new guys because it's fairly easy. And very much a very small part of what they do. She herself was part of bringing down a, well, she developed or helped develop a, not technology, I don't know if technology would be the right word, but a method of being able to identify someone by the particular veins in their hands. So like your veins and stuff, they don't really move. And you know how, especially men, because the people that they were after were men who were doing things with children they should not be doing, shall we say, to make this YouTube friendly. And a lot of the time it would be just their hands in the photos or in the videos. And so she and other colleagues developed a way to identify them by the vein patterns on the back of their hands, because like you can't really see my vein patterns. Like I think, yeah, if you do this, like, but you find a lot of the time like men tend to have like veinier hands and arms, and so they did studies and discovered that yes, you can in fact identify people by the vein patterns on the back of their hands. She managed to identify people by the shape of their ears, because our ear shapes are like fingerprints. They are individual to the person. She also, one of the stories she told us when she was giving us lectures was about a guy who again was making videos and photos, shall we say, and had his face covered, and that was it. He had full body tats. This guy, I'm not in any way saying that like obviously I hope he's in jail with some people who know exactly what he did and is being treated accordingly. But how could you be so stupid? Like, tattoos are so identifiable. That's one of the reasons that serial killers don't like taking people with tattoos, because it's so easily identifiable. Cannibals also don't like people with tattoos because apparently we taste bad. So, tattoo to save your life. But yeah, he was covered in tattoos. And was covering his face to stop his identity being known. People are stupid. People are so stupid. Like, I'm glad that he was caught, and I'm glad that he was caught very effectively. But it's bigger belief sometimes. But yes, I'm so excited to read this. I've got the audiobook pre-ordered, like I say, because I love listening to the audiobooks, especially listening because Sue narrates these herself. And again, like having lectures from her at uni, like listening to her voice is just like sitting in a lecture, and I find it so fascinating. So fascinating. Honestly, I'm so excited. Despite the fact that I'm obviously no longer in the forensic space in terms of like, I'm not seeking a forensic job or further study or anything like I wanted to, because my mental health couldn't take some of the things that people do to each other. I still love it dearly. Like, I love especially, like, genetics, obviously, but like I love following Sue Black because honestly she's just a fantastic person. I love her so much. So I'm very excited for that. Right, package number 2. Please do not be the same thing. Please tell me I've not ordered the same book twice. Can we all cross our fingers for me that it's not the same book again? Oh, it's not the same book. What is it? What is this? Oh, I didn't even get the dispatch notice for this one. Okay, there we go. This is The River She Became by Emily Varga. This is one that I'm very excited about. I'm not excited about the sticker though. The sticker can come off right now. Honestly, petition to stop putting fucking stickers on stuff. Act like a millennial. Stop putting stickers on stuff. You need to hoard them. Because you don't have the commitment to put them on anything. Right, so yes, The River She Became by Emily Varga. This is a fae romance fantasy, or at least a fae fantasy, that is mummy. Ooh, it's white. Hardback. That is very mummy coded, so that's the signature. I've not actually... I have read this, but I don't know it off by heart. I just remember really enjoying the synopsis and the marketing that the author was doing, and I was like, I need that. So it says, enter a fantasy world bursting with dangerous romance, heart-stopping twists, and a heroine who dares to steal back her future. Yasima is a brilliant scholar and loyal servant of the Empire, or so they think. By day, she catalogues fae relics of her conquered kingdom. By night. We'll try that again. Yasima is a brilliant scholar and a loyal servant of the Empire, or so they think. By day, she catalogues fae relics from her conquered kingdom. By night, she steals them back to restore magic to her dying land. When she finds the long-lost key to the fae world on the other side of the river, she discovers a ruthless realm ruled by monsters wearing beautiful skin. Among them is a cold-eyed captain who sees through her lies. Yet, he harbours his own secret, and for his plans to succeed, he needs the same relic Yasima seeks, the crown of an ancient fae queen. To survive ancient curses and nightmarish creatures, they must work together, but it soon becomes clear that the greatest danger isn't their mission, it's losing their hearts to each other. Okay, so, it sounds like it could be a romance. I don't know. I don't know the differences between fantasy romance and, like, I don't particularly care. Like, I don't really particularly care. But I'm very excited about this. Like, the fact that it's, like, a fantasy... I was going to say the fantasy mummy. The mummy is fantasy, Andy. It's not. It's just not real. I'm very excited about this. And I'm so excited to get it. Is this smaller? This is a small hardback. This is... And it's see what's sticking out? That is deeply upsetting. Why would you make it short? I suppose Sue is short, so why don't make a book short? That's mean. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go and get these into my spreadsheets. Hello. I just had to clean my lens there because it was very blurry. Hello, what day is it? What day are we on? That's not helping me. Friday. No, Thursday. Technically it's Friday because it's past midnight, but we're going Thursday. I don't know if I vlogged yesterday. I don't know what happened yesterday. I have done some reading. I am this far. I am 137 pages into the Bean Chronicles. I am 3 stories in. I have 7 stories left. I have already read the end. Not story, but like it's just the voicemail of Magnus Bane. So it says, the voicemail of Magnus Bane, High Warlock of Brooklyn, in the days following a certain incident in City of Lost Souls. So I've read that, and then this is what I've got to read still. So I'm doing well. My audiobook, here we go. I've also added, start again, Andy. I've added this as the prompt that I was using for Platform Decay. Which is read an adult book, so I've decided to add this to my TBR because I feel like it's, not big enough, of course. And my audiobook of An Expert Witness has hit my Audible, so I'm very excited about that. This is so cute. I'm actually really looking... I think... Why am I so, like, today? I've been watching, like, I think just thinking about, like, Malik and... Red, White and Royal Blue, and I want a nice cozy gay romance, so Father Material is on my TBR. I am loving the Bean Chronicles. I love short story collections when it's established characters and you're just getting like bits of their life, like bits of things that happen to him. Like, there's one of these, the one where he meets, I'm pretty sure this is James, but I've not read this one yet. I have, but I've not. But I remember that James has a gun, and he's the only shadow hunter who uses a gun, because generally speaking, demonic energies cause issues with guns. So they're not the best weapon for a shadow hunter. But this one's a magical. You get it. But yes, this, like, I love it. There's like a little board of part of the story, and this one says this is when he meets Edmund Herondale for the first time. And he said Magnus is walking down the street and saying, "After all, attractive and interesting persons do not simply drop out of the sky." Boom. Enter Edmund Herondale. Devastating ensembles made on Bond Street with red brocade waistcoats do not simply drop out of the sky. And Edmund's like, "I beg your pardon?" So, never mind. I love Magnus so much. I love Magnus as a character. I am so, honestly, I love reading about his life and about his relationships. Like, he knows so many people, like so many people that are on the periphery of the Shadowhunter world as you're reading the books have interacted with Magnus. Obviously, like, that's the whole point. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I've not really done much today. We went to Kay's mum and dad's for her dad's birthday. And they gave us our anniversary present, which is this beautiful table with a glass top. It's a little glass top table. It's quite small, like, it's not that big. It's not like a big hulking table. A little side table, but it's like glass. I don't know if it's glass or resin. With a bee, like, it's like stained glass type thing, but with a bee, and it's so pretty. It's in a box, otherwise I would show it to you. And honestly, I don't actually know where the box is. Kay brought it in, so it'll be somewhere. They did, however, give us a chicken table. And I'll try and show you it later. It's quite literally a chicken. Have you ever seen I can't even describe it. It's like there's like a little base. It's wood, and it's a base, a carved thing. So it's a base, and then there's a rooster standing on it that's carved out, and then there's like a little tabletop on the rooster's head. I'll try showing you later, or put a photo in if I forget to show you. But it's something. I have filmed today. That's one thing I have done today. Obviously, I showered. I filmed my June wrap up, which was fun. 28 reads. 28 reads on that wrap up. That is mental. Absolutely mental. And this month, obviously, I won't be reading as much, but I'm very excited. My Heartstopper edition comes tomorrow, so I will be getting to read that. I've been watching other people post about reading it, and I'm very jealous. But mine comes tomorrow, so I'll be immediately reading that. And overall, I'm just feeling really good about this month's TBR. We've got Gala at the vet tomorrow. She's not doing great. She's very, like, reserved and just like, but she's been on our antibiotics for 10 days, and she should be getting better. Hopefully the vet will have a better idea of something to do. I mean, she is old. She's like 8 years old. We think they were 5 or 6 when we got them 2 years ago. So, like, 7, 8 years old. Maybe slightly older. We're not entirely sure when they got them, before we got them. But, I know chickens in general can live longer than that. But, and it's not like she stopped laying. She's still laying. So, obviously, she's still in a regular, like, she's not hit the henopause. Although she did henopause for a little bit. And yeah, although chickens can probably live a good bit longer, I'm not entirely sure the life of a chicken. The state she was in when we got her, the fact that she spent the first few years of her life, like, fighting for food and basically chronically malnourished, it's surprising that she's lasted as long as she has. She's the last girl standing at this point, but I think it does age them. Like, they start, like I said, we were talking about it at Kay's mum and dad's, and Kay's mum was saying, like, what was it she said, like, she's like 100 in chicken years. I went, yeah. And Kay's mum said she's like 100 in chicken years, and I went, yeah, and she was born during the Great Depression. But, like, that's what it's like. Like, she was born during the war, during the like, the first few years of her life, she didn't get proper nutrition, and that's not a good way to start your life. Like, it's not going to help you later on. It's going to affect your quality of life. And yeah, so she's at the vet tomorrow, and hopefully they'll be able to do something to help her a little bit, because she's obviously just not feeling great. But yeah, we'll see how she is. She is still taking herself to bed, still getting up in the morning. Like, I don't know if she's just slowing down because she's older, or it's just been too warm, or what, but I'll update you tomorrow. Hamish, if you want an update on Hamish, we didn't put him in a cone when we went to Kay's mum and dad's, because I'm really nervous about leaving him in a cone. Like, that's why he's not great in a cone. He can't really, because his legs are so short, he can't really, like, he can't get up and down to the couch, he can't get to his water bowl because it's too big. So, like, leaving him with the cone on, that's why he had, like, the bodysuit that they gave him the last time when he had surgery, so that he couldn't lick himself, because he had the suit on, but he couldn't really do the cone. But instead he chewed his leg and chewed all the scabs off his leg. It looks quite bad, but it's not bleeding, which is good. It's just like he's ripped all the scabs off. So that's been slathered in ointment. He's had his steroids, and the bodysuit is back on. So he has a vet appointment on Monday to get his second vaccine. I've already spoken about that somewhere. Basically, he had a vaccine that has to be given in 2 parts, and he has that second appointment on Monday, so he'll be seeing the vet for that then. Anyway, I just wanted to update you. I'm going to go and do some reading. I have been scrolling, I'm not going to lie, and I really want to watch Dirty Dancing now. See, honestly, like, when I'm watching Dirty Dancing, I don't know if everybody, like, this all started off because Tori sent a video about, like, of an orchestra doing, it was yellow mixed with something else, and I can't remember what it was mixed with, but it was beautiful, and they, like, built it up. The conductor built it up from, like, bass, can you play this note? Cellist, can you do this? And he built it up, and then basically did it live. And I then got into a spiral of watching musical stuff. I had to be karaoke to Weaving Through the Window, and some Hamilton stuff, and then the song from Dirty Dancing came on, and it's my favourite scene in Dirty Dancing, and it's when she goes over to the cabin, and he says to her, you're not afraid of anything. She's like, I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of, what's it she says? I can't remember what she says.
You are not scared of anything. I don't know.
Me, I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of what I saw. I'm scared of what I did, of who I am. And most of all, I'm scared of walking out of this room and never feeling the rest of my whole life the way I feel when I'm with you.
But then she puts the music on, or the music changes, and I can't remember what the song, I don't even know what the song's called. She says to him, like, dance with me, and then they dance, and obviously, like, it's like he's in the chair and she's, like, trying to, like, talk him into dancing, but not talk him into, but there's something so beautiful about that scene, because it's such a quiet, like, it goes from being loud because they're arguing. She just had something really dramatic happen to her when, like, her dad's yelling at her. They've just had they've just come back from a successful show, her and Johnny. They're riding the high. They come home, they find his dance partner, whose name, I can't remember character names, guys. They find her after her back alley abortion, and which for years I didn't know that's what had happened. I really didn't know that's what had happened. And she runs to get her, baby runs to get her dad. Our dad comes back and he, like, blames Johnny for what happened, helps her. And then when he says to baby, is like, take that stuff off your face, and she's talking about her makeup. And so she leaves and goes to find Johnny in his cabin, and they are arguing. And Johnny's not even, the thing is, this is why, like, Johnny was my first, like, crush, my first love. Like, he is the platform, he is the basis on which I judge partners, and which I judge men. Like, that's... No man will ever stand up to Johnny Castle, in my opinion. Because he, in that moment, he is not mad at her for going to get her dad, even though, like, it could ruin his career, it could ruin his life. He is not mad that her dad was horrible to him and blamed him even though it wasn't his fault. Like, he is, in that moment, the only person he is angry with is himself, because he thinks that he is supposed to protect them and he has failed in protecting them. And he's thankful to Baby for, like he says, being so brave as to go get her dad. Like, she was brave enough to do that when he couldn't, to get help when he couldn't, when he was standing there with, like, his dick in his hand, basically. And he feels unworthy, and he's not, like I say, he's not even mad. He got a dressing down from her dad for no reason, and yet he's not even mad at him. He's not even slightly mad at him. He still has so much respect for that man. And in that moment, that's like, you really see Baby sort of slip into that. She crosses, that is the moment for me where she, and I suppose it's symbolic in that moment, where she crosses over from being Baby to being Frances. She, you know, goes from being a child or a teenager to being a woman. Like, that is her moment of transition, which makes sense because then, like, that is when they finally sleep together and she also loses her virginity. So it's probably symbolic of that, but, like, there's something about that moment, and they're yelling at each other, and he's not yelling at her, he's just yelling because he's frustrated, and she's yelling trying to get through to him. And then they have this calm, quiet moment, because, like I said, he's raised his voice, but he's not, like, shouting at her. She's yelling, which is a very childish thing to do. And then things quiet down, and the music is, like, soft and quiet in the background, and the atmosphere is almost muffled. Like, the sound quality in it, other than the music that's playing, it almost sounds like they're completely isolated and muffled in this cabin. And I think that does, like, there's a sound that records make that has that sort of, like, almost white noise effect that I think contributes to that feeling. And in that moment, they are just, it's just them. It's so intimate in that moment, just them, just focused on them. There's nobody else around. They're in this cabin where there's, like, one room. You can see the whole cabin. Like, there's one room. There's probably, like, a bathroom somewhere, but there's one room. There's one space, and it's like whitewashed and beiges and, like, neutral colours. And she, like I say, she's got the makeup on. She's, like, almost made this mental transition at this point to being a woman. And, like, she has made that decision for herself that, or she has been exposed to things which has clicked things into place to her on how she wants to be perceived, how she wants to be as a person. And then they have this beautiful song that's got this beautiful, like, swaying beat, but then it's got, like, moments to it. Like the do 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 do. I love the offbeat, like, oh, the way that music is composed is absolutely stunning. And then the thing she wants him to do, she doesn't want him to talk to her. She doesn't want him to do, like, there's so many things she could have said in that moment, but what she says is dance with me, because she understands that's how he expresses himself. That's how he expresses his emotions. That's how he sees himself. Like, he expresses himself through dance. And so she's speaking to him in his language. She's making that decision. She's not letting people make decisions for her anymore. She's not letting him decide that she needs to go because he's in despair. She decides in that moment that she will speak to him on his level, in his language, and that she will make that decision to take that step. And then they have this really intimate moment. And I'm not saying intimate as in, like, sex, although there is, like, a chart, obviously, that's, they sleep together, like, but, like, with the way that they're soft, like, the way she softly touches him, and she goes round and, like, touches the top of his, like, the top of his back and his shoulders. And the scene formation of that specific scene is absolutely stunning. Like, that's one of those ones where I feel like you could hear a pin drop on set. Like, I can never, when I'm watching that scene, I cannot take my eyes off of it, because it is so intimate. It's the only word I can think to use. Like, in that moment, they are completely in their own bubble. In that moment, there's only each other. In that moment, they're quite literally in a bubble, like in the cabin on their own. But at the same time, they are also encapsulated in this emotional bubble. And it's past midnight. I'm gonna have to go watch Dirty Dancing, or at least watch that clip, because that although that happens just before the third act conflict, or I suppose the third act conflict starts with the whole abortion thing, but then obviously him being framed for stealing then causes them to have to separate. But that specific scene to me is just so beautiful. It's a moment of pure connection, and I just, every time I watch it, I can't take my eyes off of it. Every time I watch it, like, I notice all the, like, even the way they move, it's choreographed beautifully. That scene is, in my opinion, one of the best pieces of acting, the best pieces of choreography, the best, like, scored part of a film I've ever seen, and I adore it. I don't remember where this rant started. I'm very sorry. I did not mean to go into that, but I don't often get to talk about things like this. Like, I love music in a way, and music is my language in such a way that it's like, it's so deep into my soul. Like, music is like, I don't feel about anything else the way I feel about music, and the way that it can move you, the way it can express things, the way it can help lift you up or pull you down, or, you know, music is so just decadent and beautiful and emotive, and just, it really feels like it's ingrained in every cell in my body. And when you, like, I always said at school, like, there was 3 sort of artsy things that we did. We did art, which is like drawing, painting, etc. Art, you know, music and drama. Drama, which is like the acting, the lights, the blah, blah, all that stuff. And I always said, you have 2, and the third one, you have 2 that you like, and the third one you don't like. I always find that people have 2 that they enjoy, and 1 that they just cannot stand. And for me, I could not stand art. I can't draw a stick man to save my life. But music and drama are my 2 favourite things. The way you can show emotion. Like, I love, it's like, and the intersection of that, I suppose, is dance. Like, I've never been a dancer, really. I did Irish dancing, I did some cheerleading, I did, like, things like that, but never, like, the type of intimate dance that you see in things like Dirty Dancing. But, like, I just love it so much. It means, like, it really is just my internal language, I suppose. And I don't get to speak with many people because I don't get to speak about it because not other people don't really necessarily understand it the way I do, which sounds like a really dicky thing to say. That's not what I mean at all. But, like, for example, Tori, she won't mind me saying this because we have this conversation all the time when I go off on a rant about music. Tori, because she is hard of hearing, she literally cannot pick out the bits of music that I'm picking out. Like, I've got a really good ear for music. Like, I've got a trained ear for music because I played instruments, was in choirs. Like, I literally trained in some kind of music instrument, etc. from a very young age. From, like, I don't even know, like, I started playing instruments when I was in primary school, and I've played instruments or sung or played various instruments and things like that. Even before then, my granddad and my granddad's dad were in a male voice choir, Welsh male voice choir. Like, my family in music are very ingrained, and so I can literally pick out, like, one of the exams we had to do in school was listening to a piece of music and being able to pick out which instruments were playing in that piece of music. And this is where, like, me and oboe, I have beef with oboes, right? The flute and the oboe, I played the flute. The flute and the oboe cover the same sort of spectrum. Like, they play the same notes. They are basically the equivalent of each other, and I hate the way oboes sound because I think they sound really nasally, which makes no sense because oboes don't have noses. But that's why I have beef with oboes. But, like, so I can pick out delicate little single notes, little did like, I can pick out tiny little things about music, and I get I like micro focus in on it when I'm listening to it. In my brain, it's almost like it. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, a movie or a film or a TV show or anything where someone gets an image. It's like, you know that scene, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but you know that scene in Iron Man where he's got the holographic thing of something and then he goes like that and it spreads into all its component parts. That's what music is too. That's how my brain sees music. It takes in the sound, it splits it into its components, and then works them back together as I'm listening to it. That's why I have to listen to things over and over again, because my brain's picking up on all the individual bits before I can like pull together and listen to the whole. And so I can hear all those minutiae little bits. Tori physically can't because her hearing doesn't pick up things like that, and she says she's not particularly musically minded, and so like I pick up things that she doesn't, and so talking to her, she can't understand what I'm talking about because she's never experienced it. The closest I think is probably talking to Bobby, because Bobby is a big musical theatre person, but I feel like I just talk at Bobby all the time. I don't let her get a word in edgeways, and I feel really bad about that. But Bobby's like, she works, is busy, she has a lot on, so like I don't get a chance to sit down and talk about things. When I do, I love talking to Bobby about things like this. Like we pick apart musicals. If I'm in the car with Bobby, I love like the way she understands my brain when it comes to music. But I just feel like other people don't get music the way I get music, and I just love being able to talk about it. So I'm very sorry that this is a very long clip about something you probably don't care about. So if you ever want to talk to me about music, I am here and ready. I'm gonna go because this is a very long clip. I'm very, very sorry, and I do want to read a story before I go to bed. Hello, it is Friday. It is Friday, and what I assume is my copy of Heartstopper has arrived. So I heard the beep of the scanny thing that the postman's got, and I yelled to Kay, I was like, is that my copy of Heartstopper? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, is it my copy of Heartstopper? So how am I meant to know if it's your copy of Heartstopper? Like, is it a Waterstones box? Yes. And it's my copy of Heartstopper. Because I was also waiting for an Amazon delivery, which also has not turned up. So yes. I'm so excited. This is about to get read. Ta-da. Oh, that's really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she is chunky. That is the thickest. That is the thickest Heartstopper volume. Wow. I'm so excited about this. And it's purple. Oh. This is it. This is the end. This is going to be the end of me. He wishes. It's being dramatic over there. Not as dramatic as he was last time. Oh my god, I'm going to be reading this immediately. That's not how you say that in French. I'm going to be reading this immediately. I've just finished reading Heartstopper, so I can get right into it. And I've sold 4 books on Depop, so they will be getting packed. Probably in boxes like this that I've got. So, thank you Waterstones for another box. Oh, I forgot to mention we had Gala at the vet this morning. So she's now got painkillers, which also help with like taking her fever down, because she just seems to be getting like she's still not feeling good. She's got more antibiotics, and she has critical care, which is a really nutrient dense like slurry almost to eat. And honestly, like about 20 minutes, half an hour after we gave her, not even that, after we gave her the painkillers, she perked up so much. Like not anywhere near where she should be, but like better than she was. So here's hoping like she's on the continued track to healing. But she sneezed on me. I cleaned it off, but she sneezed on me, and I swear she did it on purpose because she looked at me. Like I got the eyeball, and she went pfft, and sneezed on me. I was like, thank you very much for that. Thanks. Anyway, I'm gonna go finish my Red Bull, read Heartstopper, hopefully get my Amazon delivery, and then I've got the nurse at 2:45 to get my dressing changed, so I just need to box up those. I've got things to do, okay? Hello, it is Saturday, and welcome to today's episode of I Forgot to Vlog Again. I've had a really bad flare-up today. I was out for Kay's dad's birthday, like we just went, I mean, out of the house, like we went to Kay's mum and dad's house to visit him, and then yes, no, and then the next day we were at the vets, and then yesterday, I think it was yesterday we were at the vets, I don't remember, and then I had to fight Hamish because we've put like a cover up on him because he's really scratching his skin, and it seems to be the only thing that settles him. And it covers the ointment and stuff as well, so that he's not scratching. And like getting the ointment, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, so I'm in a flare up. I'm feeling pretty much as bad as I look. Not gonna lie, I feel rough. I feel horrendous. But I don't know if I said. So I finished the Bane Chronicles. I'm just gonna plonk myself down. I finished the Bane Chronicles. Loved it. Got so much more out of it this time because of, see, this messes with the lighting though. Is this, excuse my empty fish tank. Yeah, I finished the Bane Chronicles. Is this better for the lighting? Do you know what? I don't care. I finished the Bane Chronicles. Really enjoyed it, especially this time that I know, like going back to it and seeing like especially the story that's got James and Edmund and oh my god, my arm hurts already. What was I saying? Yeah, especially those stories where I have more context now that I've read the other books and then gone back and read it again. So I enjoyed that thoroughly. I've also listened to the entirety of An Expert Witness. I got this in audio because I really like listening to non-fictions on audio. I just find it easier to listen to them because a lot of the time non-fiction writing can be quite dry, but it's interesting when it's spoken at you, especially when it's the person who wrote it, because it's kind of their passion and it comes across. But anyway, as I've probably said a million times before, while I was at uni, I studied forensic science, and one of my lecturers was Sue Black. So she wasn't I went to Abertay, and she was employed by Dundee Uni, so she would come and do guest lectures. So it's really nice I love listening to her books because it reminds me of getting lectures from her, and it's so interesting. This book was so good. It was about basically a history of, like, a somewhat short history of forensic science. Like, there was a discussion about when certain technologies came into place and the benefits and pitfalls, the pros and cons, how they've developed, how we've learned from past mistakes, how we've not learned from past mistakes, and what it's like to actually be on the stand and be an expert witness, what an expert witness is, how it developed, all that jazz. So it's like a brief history of forensics, along with some context stories from past characters and from Sue herself. I'm really saddened by, oh my god, this book is so heavy. I'm really saddened by some of the things in there. Like, it's a bit rough. Some lawyers can be really adversarial, and at the end of the day, I'm ever going to be a forensic scientist in court. Like, the whole point of everyone there is to make sure that the truth, yeah. There was a thing I watched that was about, I can't remember anybody's names, but it was about the murder that happened. The woman was found under the floor of a church. I don't remember. If I edit and Andy, please put some detail here. And I watched a documentary about it. I don't remember what the documentary or anything was, but they spoke to like the forensic scientists and stuff that were involved in it, and the forensic biologist, she was actually in the floor, like there was only just enough space under the floor, and she had to get all the evidence that they could, she had to get down under the floor, and she was there for hours in the summer in a full, like, in the Tyvek suit, collecting evidence next to this corpse, because she wanted to make sure she got everything and make sure it was done perfectly, because this poor woman had been, murdered. And she, sorry, my arm's going dead again. She was discussing how after she got cross-examined by the defence lawyer, she went and cried because it was, she felt it was like, it was really upsetting, horrific. She felt really under fire. And they told, so that the defence attorney was also, the defence lawyer was also a part of the TV show, and he, like, they told him what she'd said, and he was like, oh, it was like that, he was like, I didn't realise that was the outcome of that. He was like, that wasn't my intention at all. He was like, my job is not to, like, break anybody down or try and prove necessarily my client's innocence. My job is to make sure that the science and the scientists and the police and everybody have done their jobs correctly. Like, it's my job just to make sure that their evidence is airtight. Like, that's all. He was like, that's all I want to do when I go into a court, is make sure that, everybody's crossed their T's, dotted their I's, and then, what happens to his client, He's not there to falsify anything to make an innocent man out of a guilty man. He's just there to make sure that if he is put away for murder, that he's being put away on good evidence, which is a fantastic stance, by the way, to take as a defence lawyer, because one, why would you want somebody who committed a crime to be out, and two, why would you want somebody who didn't commit a crime to be behind bars? Like, he just wants to make sure that everybody is doing their jobs and that the conviction is safe or the acquittal is safe, and that's exactly what you can, that's the best thing to do. But he didn't realise that the way he'd come across was so adversarial that it really upset her. I think he contacted her and apologised, because he was like, that was never mind. But he was like an older guy, like middle-aged, like very in his prime, like lawyer. Like, you look at him and you go, yeah, that's a lawyer. And the woman, the scientist, was a lot younger. And yeah, he was like, that was never my intention. You could tell he was quite a straightforward, blunt individual. Like, he was very sort of, not quite jaded, but like that sort of way where he doesn't pussyfoot around things. And I think often that can come across as quite blunt. But yeah, he was like, no, that was never ever my intention. He was like, I really admired her. She did her job admirably. Like, they got that, the conviction stands because people like her did their jobs. He's like, it's not my job to, discredit someone. It's my job to make sure they're doing their job correctly. I can't remember where I was going with this, but yeah, that was kind of the thing I was talking about. So that's what I mean. Like, it can be quite an adversarial. It's actually called an adversarial justice system because you're basically fighting each other. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I couldn't. Like, I would be so hard pressed to keep my mouth shut and not answer back in a way that would get me in trouble. I'm not gonna lie. But I have also started Dead in the Family. Dead in the Family. I'm 162 pages in, which is just over halfway, I think. And we've just hit a moment where everything's hit the fan, just teeny little bit of hitting the fan. But it's a good point to stop. I think I can't read anymore. I need to go to sleep. I'm too tired. I feel horrendous. So it's bedtime. And I'm so looking forward to the sleep. Hello. It is technically Monday and I've only realised that it's switched over into the next week. So I need to close this vlog off. I don't know when I last vlogged. I think it was when I was halfway through Dead in the Family. I am now finished with Dead in the Family. And I have started Lost in Space. And I've also started Pucking Around. So I've got Pucking Around on an e-book copy, even though this is like a really floppy thing. It's just, I like having an e-book to read. So yeah, I managed to read 85 pages last night in bed. There's actually one of the chapters has the wrong, chapter 13 in the ebook has the wrong chapter title, so I had to like send a correction to them. Hopefully they pick it up, because the chapter titles are like the POV titles, so it was like, this is not Caleb, this is Rachel. So yeah, anyway, I so far really enjoy my reread of this. I absolutely love Pucking Around. I love the whole series, but yeah, I'm really looking forward. I think I'm like rereading all of them. I don't know, not right now, but I'm starting Pucking Around. Please ignore my hair. I'm about to go in the shower when I realised that I'd forgotten to film anything for a while. Oh my god. And me and my hair are just having a moment. But I finished Dead in the Family, and this is a nice, like, things do happen in this, but it's not quite as intense as the past few books have been, so it's just a nice, like, book to carry on with. And obviously the next book I'll read next month. I am so excited at how quickly I seem to be getting through these. I could probably binge these, but doing the one a month is really quite pleasing to the sensibilities, as it were. But yes, very much enjoyed this one. Like I say, I have also started Moss in Space. I got like 45 pages through it last night, and this is very much like, I said to Vicky, it's like if Art and Murderbot had a child, which would obviously, you know, Murderbot would not be happy about. But still, I'm enjoying this so far. It's got Rebecca Thorne's humour in it, and yeah, I'm only at the start, so here's hoping that it continues to go as well as it does. Generally speaking, as per, you know, sing the song with me, I've not been feeling great. I woke up this morning in so much pain. I felt exhausted last night, went to bed early so that I could read for a little bit in bed before going to sleep. Went to bed early, like 11 o'clock early. And I've been going to bed at 2 o'clock, so 11 o'clock is early. And I woke up this morning, I woke up to go to the vet with Kay and Hamish this morning, and I was in so much pain. So much pain. So yeah, this weekend has been not a great one for pain wise. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Sorry for the state of me, but I was going to say Vicky's least favourite phrase. It be what it do what it is. I can't remember what it is that Sharky says in Hell's Bells. I'll need to rewatch Hell's Bells again, which is going to take a while. Anyway, yes, I'm going to go. If you want to let me know you're here but you don't want to leave a long comment, if you leave me a sword emoji for Dead in the Family, because there's a sword in the blood on the cover. Like if you want to, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye.